Hi, I'm Brad Shanklin, Senior Director of Chapter Business for MPI International, and welcome to this short video that explains how you can use our new Speaker Resource tool to hire great speakers. Whether you're a chapter leader or a member, you can use this tool to book speakers for all of your educational programs.
My name is Dave Reed. With me, Joe Heaps. We're both with eSpeakers, and we are here today to help train about the MPI Speaker Resource. Joe and I are here from eSpeakers because eSpeakers and MPI partnered to make the MPI Speaker Resource. Joe, you want to talk a little bit about that?
Sure. eSpeakers has been working with MPI for quite some time. MPI came to eSpeakers and wanted to try to find a tool that would they'd be able to utilize for a speaker directory on their website. And so we're glad and happy to partner with MPI on this project to provide great speakers to the chapters.
We know that speakers are key.
Yeah, they are. Speakers are key, especially because of all the educational training that goes on at all the chapter events. Whether your event has education planned for it or not, we know that speakers play a key role in that, and we're here to talk to you about that today.
The interesting thing about the MPI Speaker Resource is that because of the partnership between MPI and eSpeakers, we've got this deep worldwide catalog of professional speakers, the like of which honestly is not found anywhere else. eSpeakers has relationships all over the world with national speakers associations, with big associations like MPI, with many of the leading speakers bureaus all over the world. And because we've been in the industry for over 15 years, we're well known among speakers. And so with all of that coming together, we're able to deliver a huge catalog of qualified experts that will make your meetings better. And on top of that, we've added a technology layer. I mean, there's almost 10,000 speakers in the catalog at this moment. And that'd be daunting to sift through if you didn't have good technology to help you narrow it down and find the exact right fit for each of your meetings.
In fact, Dave, that's one of the challenges that we hear from meeting planners often is when they go hire a speaker, they go to Google and they'll type in, I want to hire a speaker that has this budget, it's available on this date, and has video, and it's just daunting. And so a tool like ours helps narrow that search to help you find that right speaker. It's a much more efficient way to find a speaker.
Okay, so we're not going to keep talking. We're going to do a little bit of show and tell here. We've got Joe on the keyboard, and he's going to demonstrate how to get into the MPI Speaker Resource. And your journey starts at npiweb.org.
Okay, so here on the website, you'll notice here on the left-hand side, it's under Speaker Resource. You just click that, and you notice this screen is split into two. The left side is a way for you to source a speaker on your own, and the right side is a way to source speakers through a speakers bureau. And we identify that as finding a speaker two ways. One way is a self-service model, and the other way is a full service. So if you're looking for a self-service experience, doing it yourself, you would go on the left-hand side there and source that speaker on your own. If you're looking for a full service or people to help you and assist you, then you would go the Speakers Bureau model, which is on the right-hand side, and there's a list of speaker bureaus there that would be able to assist you and take you through that process from A to Z if that's what you're looking for. So there's two options there. For this demo, we're going to actually demo the directory, so we'll go ahead and go into the self-service model. And we'll start here at the search screen, and we wanted to talk a little bit about some of the ways that you can use the search screen as a way to narrow your search. So there's two ways to search by topic. The first is to type anything you want in the search box, or you can type in the drop-down menu there, or select a topic in the drop-down menu. So for this experience, let's just look at the topic of leadership. And you notice it went from just about 10,000 speakers down to, what do we have, 2,800. And so I can narrow that search down. Let's continue the search down. I could maybe say, I have a budget of $10,000, and that narrows the search down. And then I could say, my event is on the 18th. So just with those three search criteria, I know the topic I'm looking for, the fee that the speaker charges and their availability. Now, if you notice over here on the right-hand side, on each speaker, there's an availability. So you can see Lenora is already booked on that day. So is Bill, but Philip is free, and Karen is booked, and Michelle Ray's free. But at this point, if I was interested in Michelle Ray, I can click on Michelle Ray and find out a little bit more about, her speaking and what she would be able to provide my group. So I can look at her bio and read through her bio, and then she's got some programs here. You can notice these tabs along the top give you all the information about the speaker, but these are her presentations, these are her speeches, and she's got expected outcomes and all good stuff. She's got a really good format on here. And so those identify what she'd be able to present. You'll be able to find out if there's something there specific for you. You can look at her reviews. She's got verified and unverified reviews, and that's kind of a nice thing, because the unverified are ones that she's collected. The verified are ones that she's collected and we have verified through our system. And the meeting planners actually said, yes, I did say that. So it's kind of a little extra layer of knowledge, knowing that somebody verified it through a third-party system. Here's her calendar, shows where she's going to be and when her availability is, where she's going. She's got her social media tied in there, and then she's got some additional marketing files, documents, book covers, photos, those types of things that would help you if you were to book her or to help you make that decision. And of course, the number one sales tool right now for speakers and to evaluate a speaker is to actually see them in action. You can see that Michelle's got a bunch of video on here. You'd be able to see her present and see her on the stage and so forth. So that is kind of the general outline of what's on each profile. You can see that it's very in-depth. And the thing that's important here is that the speakers update this information on their own. And so it's always up to date, and you don't have to always wonder if the fee's correct or their calendar's correct or their bio or whatever. This is all updated by the speakers, which is what makes this type of directory so good.
Joe, can I toss something?
You bet,
there?
absolutely.
Joe kind of went over this part quickly, but I think it's worth mentioning that just what he's done here, that he found speakers who speak on leadership under $10,000, that he knows that she's not available on his date, and he's not available, and he is. That's hours of sifting through Google and making phone calls. And he did that in about 15 seconds, but that represents a lot of work. Now, 2,500 candidates is not far enough. We've got to dial that down even further. And I want to show you something special for chapter members, for chapter leaders, for VPs of education, because we've spent some time talking with VPs of education from all over the country, and the thing that they told us was when they want to do an education session, they've got to find speakers who can do a program that will count for CE clock hours. And they wanted a way to make that easy to do. And the MPI Speaker Resource does that. So, Joe, if you'll scroll down here, down to CMP domain, there's an extra drop down right down there at the bottom. If you drop that open, you'll recognize the 10 CMPIS domains, and you can choose one, and Joe's just chosen the domain of human resources. We'll see now we've narrowed that down a lot. There's now 219 speakers who have said that they do a program that can qualify for clock hours. And so that is huge right there if you're looking for human resources. Now you can further dial this down. Joe could apply the fee range to that. Let's say we need them to be under $5,000, Joe. So if we need a speaker that discounts a little bit, okay, we just narrowed it down to 152. That's still quite a bit. Let's do this. We all like to buy MPI when we can, right? So let's find which speakers have said that they are MPI members, that they're used to doing chapter meetings, and that they are willing to discount for MPI chapter meetings. You can do that with this checkbox right there. It's a little checkbox that says MPI. And when we do that, now we have really honed in on it. We've got 17 speakers that will do a presentation on the CMP domain of human resources. They're in our price range. We know they'll discount for MPI chapters, that they are our MPI members. And we could click into one of those and contact them. Now, the MPI Speaker Resource doesn't want to get in the way of you contacting these speakers. In other words, we're not an intermediary. we want to put you directly into contact with that speaker so that you can make arrangements. And so anywhere you see a big green connect button that Joe just clicked on, you'll get a little window that starts like this. And we know that oftentimes when you're planning for a meeting, you'll consider 3, 4, 5, 6 speakers. And so you can put those in a shopping cart and contact them all at once. But let's say that we only wanted to contact Jim. So Joe's going to click that. And then Joe, do you want to talk about what you're doing here, what you see?
Well, this is just the basic entry form. We'll put in our information and the information about the event, and then we'll actually post a job. So
yeah. So while Joe's entering this, he's just entering basic contact information. And once you do this once, the system can remember who you are, so you don't have to go through this screen every time. But Joe's just entering basic contact information. And this is so that the speakers will know how to get back to you. So the important parts here are your email address and your phone number. And Joe's entering both of those in there. And you'll create a login password just so you can come back in without having to type this. And go ahead and click that little checkbox, Joe, that says you agree to receive email. That's how the system communicates back to you with the speakers. Joe, choose a different email address and it should let you in there. All right, so we have to do that one time. Next time we won't have to do that. Now it's asking for just some basic information about the event. Joe's typing in right now the event name, which we would say, it's the September Orlando MPI Chapter meeting. The approximate date is going to be November 18th. The delivery is going to be on site, and we're going to put in that this is going to be in Dallas, Texas. This is the reason that the system wants to know this is because the speakers are always very interested where the meeting is, of course. That affects their ability to travel. You can put in your budget. Joe's chosen $1,000 to $2,500. He's choosing a topic. We're going to just choose business, but
Look around leadership because that's the one we had before. English.
Now we know that your actual topic might be one of the CMPIS domains, but we'll put in leadership there, English, and we're looking for a keynote type speaker. Date, what's the goal of the meeting? So a chapter leader would put in something like, we need to educate our members about this aspect of HR or about leadership. Now, this next little question down here, allow other presenters to apply to this event. Joe, talk about that. That's an interesting question.
Yeah, this is really a great concept because what we've done is allowed you to post a job and allow others in the network, other speakers. Now we've got 10,000 in the database, so not all 10,000 are going to do that, but a percentage of those will, once you post that job up, can then go and apply towards that job. And so it's a way for you to, if you can't find the speakers in your own search, it's a way for you to put a job up and let them apply to speak at your event, which is a great way to do it. And
it's like sticking it on the corkboard in the speaker's break room, right? So that they're able to see it.
So if you can say yes or no, and you don't have to do that. If you choose to, great. Then you'll be getting some inquiries, and when you make the selection, then everybody will be notified that you made a selection and so forth. And then the next step there is about sponsorship. Now, this is kind of a new thing that we're rolling out. And if you're interested in this after we talk about it a little bit, please let us know because we're very interested in talking to more about this. But essentially what would happen is we have interested sponsors who want to be in front of MPI chapters. And it may be a venue, it may be some type of service provider or a CVB or something like that. And they may want to be in front of an MPI chapter and they are willing to pay for the speaker, sometimes that full fee, to have the speaker be sponsored by them. And essentially what that would be is, I would say, hey, my name's Joe Heaps. I was brought to you today by the Salt Lake City Convention and Visitors Bureau. And say a few things about the CVB that they asked me to say. And then I say, I have a short clip that I want to show you. I roll through a 1.5-minute clip or whatever it might be. And it may be a handout to very, it's not going to take a lot of your time in your meeting, and it's pretty easy to do, and yet it paid for the speaker. So we have that process in place. We're just getting it off the ground. So if you're interested in that, please let us know, because that's a great opportunity for you to get maybe a higher price speaker for a lower fee or no fee. And so It's an option.
That'll be an interesting thing. So if you are interested in sponsorship, you can just click yes right there. There's no sort of commitment right there. It just lets us know that would be interesting to you. And then we ask a couple more questions about the meeting that we can use to help attract a sponsor. And Jim won't click this because it would actually send this person an inquiry, but you would just click send inquiry and you're done with that. And the speaker gets notified via email, and then they're able to respond to you via a message as well. It kind of works like Facebook messaging if you're familiar with that.
Dave, I was going to add one more thing, and this was interesting for chapter leaders, and that is that back here on the search screen, as we put in the domain and that they're an MPI member and we put in a fee, one thing that you can refine the search down by just a little bit more is by those who are local to the event. So let's say, for example, I want to find anybody that's in the Dallas, Texas area. And you'll notice that these speakers actually live in the area. Steve and Rob, they're speakers that live in this area. And there's also the chance, because we keep the calendars and the schedules of the speakers, we know where they're going to be traveling. So it could be somebody that lived in Chicago that's speaking in Dallas and is on the same night as your chapter meeting, and they're speaking in the day, and they could stay that night and speak to your chapter. So the location search is really great because it's a way for you to take advantage of speakers that are in the area traveling or that live local. And we hear that a lot, is that it's easier, you may know them, it's easier to book those local speakers. Sometimes you just may not know all of them. So this is a great way to find anybody that's local to your event.
Yeah, and the speakers love that too. Anytime they can get on a plane and fly once and speak twice, that's a huge bonus for them. So that's the end of show and tell. We hope that, again, with eSpeakers and MPI, the hope is that this makes your meetings better. We hope that it makes it easier for you to get higher quality speakers in for your education and for your members. If you have any questions about the speaker resource, we're available here at eSpeakers. There's our phone number and our support email address. Joe and I are always happy to personally field questions, so feel free to reach out to us. I know that Brad and others on the MPI staff are available for that as well too. So that is our training for today.
Thank you.